Embers of Liberty.
Our country is strong. A great people has been moved to defend a great nation. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Inherently and historically oppose the secret society.
We, as Americans, have the capacity now, as we've had in the past,
long ago,
to do whatever needs to be done
and unwarranted
to preserve this last and greatest bastion of freedom.
far outweigh the dangers
In this present crisis,
justify it.
government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Welcome back to Embers of Liberty, where we are covering Joe Biden's speech live. So this is the speech that will tell us what they want us to know about why he dropped out of the race. I've got Kate with me, and I've got Lonnie with me.
Sure.
Joe will be here shortly, but he's running late, as always. So, Lonnie, what do you think the reason's going to be?
Yeah, I think it's going to be basically, I don't think they're really going to give us any additional info outside of that letter. I think he's pretty much just going to say, along the lines of, it's just the best interest in the party and the best interest of the nation. Bunch of mumbo jumbo bullshit, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. Kate, where are you leaning on this one?
I don't really know. I think it's just health reasons, maybe. Just he's old. He's old. He's old as dirt.
He is very old. Very old as dirt.
I feel like Jill might have had some influence.
For sure. I don't think there's any way that Jill didn't have influence on it. So,
I don't really think he knows what's going on. I think he was just told, hey, this is what you're doing to do it. And he was like, yeah, okay.
Here's my reasoning behind why I think it's going to be so broad. Because he still has 6 months that he's still trying to hold on to. And if he goes anywhere around it's health related or anything, mental or anything like that, he knows that if he says something like that, they're going to immediately call for him to step down as president.
Yeah, he's got to be careful how he words it, probably.
Yeah, so I think it's just going to be very broad. And like I said, that's why I think it's not going to be anything more than what we already have seen in the letter. Just because he has to skirt that line of, oh, it's just me being selfless and yada, yada, yada.
So I'm kind of leaning towards they're going to outright lie to us. There's been a lot that's been speculated. There was a lot of speculation that he was dying. There was a lot of speculation that, they told him either step aside and let Kamala take the reins, or we're going to 25th Amendment you and you're not going to be president anymore, regardless of what you decide. But, where the truth is, I really don't know. It's hard to say. And none of it makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. I know the Trump campaign is trying to claw some money away from the Democrats because of the fact that they've wasted this entire amount of time, insisting that Joe Biden is going to be the nominee, and then surprise rug pull, which we all saw coming, right after the RNC, it's not a good look, for one. For another, now you have Kamala Harris as the presumptive nominee, who
she hasn't won any primary votes.
Literally nobody voted for in the primaries because she wasn't a candidate in the primaries. You know, for the party that likes to preach about, you know, democracy, they sure did ignore a fucking giant part of the democratic process.
Look, I'm just going to say one thing. Let us just unburden the things that have been done.
Well, you know, with the passage of time, and it's significant because it's the passage of time.
Oh, Joe, we did it!
We did it, Joe!
You know, it's kind of like a kick in the balls for every Democrat that thought, we're going to reelect Joe Biden.
But see, here's the thing. They're so stupid. And yes, I'm going to say it. I'm just going to come out. If you claimed yourself as a Democrat and you're on the Kamala Harris train, you're a fucking idiot, and you deserve every bit of this that is occurring.
Agreed.
That being said, I don't think it's right, but I think you deserve it. I think you deserve to be treated this way. Because this is the kind of people you support, and you just blatantly just refuse to accept that they're fucking you over at this point. And you deserve it.
Absolutely. 100%. You 100% deserve it. She is a shit candidate. She's been a shit candidate. As I turned him up. Let's take you back down a little bit. You know, at the end of the day, I don't really know what's going to happen, but I know that none of it is what the voters wanted, and that's about all that really matters at this point, is that it's not the will of the people. You know, I mean, Democrats get exactly what they fucking deserve. You know, to be completely honest, like, they're going to get everything good and hard. But I don't envy the position that they're in at all. Because if it were the other way around, I would want, you know, the candidate that we voted for to be the nominee, not just some random that they decided, hey, this is going to be who it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, if this was something that happened with, like, Trump and he was running, you know, and he pulled out, and then they just, you know, picked any Joe Schmo to be the person to be the nominee. Like, wait a minute. Like, I would want answers.
Yeah, for sure. And the fact that everybody's just kind of going along with it is telling on its own.
I mean, you think about what Vivek Ramaswamy said, you know, he's said it time and time again. We're not going against, you know, one person. It's a machine.
It is 100% a machine.
And they're going to do what they think is best. And even like Biden said it, Biden said it in the letter that he wrote saying he was stepping down. He said, I'm doing what's best for my party and for the country. That goes to show you right there, just by the...
It's not about the party, or it's not about the, right. It's not about the country. It's 100% about the party. Like the whole thing.
That was his priority. He wrote that down first, or whoever wrote this letter wrote that first. That shows the importance. That's how you determine, like, oh, so the party is what's important to you, not the country.
And Joe shows up right in time for the speech. So let's go live. This is supposed to start in about 15 seconds.
Oh, I thought you were already live.
No, we are live.
Oh.
I'm talking about, you know, going to the presser.
I got you.
Don't say anything dumb, Joe.
Well, the countdown's at 0, and there's still no Joe Biden. I mean, that's Joe Biden, but that's not current Joe Biden. So, anyway.
My dad was a well-read, decent guy. I don't remember much trickling down on his kitchen table. Middle-class people
So I turn the volume down just until we actually get to the presser, you know, and maybe it's on a different channel, but
and that is that the way to build this economy is from the middle out and the bottom up.
I don't think it is.
And the wealthy still do very well.
So how do you think the world reacts if it is obviously a recording or if it's obviously AI?
Oh, badly. Very badly. But I don't think it's going to be either of those things.
The corporate state of the world. Delaware has more corporations registered in Delaware than every other state in the nation combined. I'm not anti-corporate.
So,
but corporate
you know, as per the usual arrangement, Joe Biden is late. Lonnie, you called it.
It's time, for example, if I'm reelected, we're going to...
I guess it's just a thing that happens with people named Joe.
5% increase.
Nailed it.
Wait for everything.
Thick burn, bro.
We can use this as an opportunity to talk about. Did y'all hear about the blowout in Yellowstone today?
That was yesterday.
Yeah, I was talking about that
yesterday, and it was not related to volcanic activity.
So they say.
Here we go.
Here we go.
My fellow Americans, I'm speaking to you tonight from behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office. In this sacred space, I'm surrounded by portraits of extraordinary American presidents. Thomas Jefferson wrote the immortal words that guide this nation. George Washington, who showed us presidents are not kings. Abraham Lincoln, who implored us to reject malice. Franklin Roosevelt, who inspired us to reject fear. I revere this office, but I love my country more. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president. But in the defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think is more important than any title. I draw strength and I find joy in working for the American people. But this sacred task of perfecting our union is not about me. It's about you, your families, your futures. It's about we, the people. We can never forget that. And I never have. I've made it clear that I believe America is at an inflection point. One of those rare moments in history when the decisions we make now will determine our fate of our nation and the world for decades to come. America's going to have to choose between moving forward or backward, between hope and hate, between unity and division. We have to decide, do we still believe in honesty, decency, respect, freedom, justice, and democracy? In this moment, we can see those we disagree with not as enemies, but as fellow Americans. Can we do that? Does character in public life still matter? I believe I know the answer to these questions because I know you, the American people. And I know this, we are a great nation because we are good people. When you elected me to this office, I promised to always level with you, to tell you the truth. And the truth, the sacred cause of this country is larger than any one of us. And those of us who cherish that cause, cherish it so much, a cause of American democracy itself, must unite to protect it. You know, in recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor. I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. That's the best way to unite our nation. You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. But there's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now. Over the next 6 months, I'll be focused on doing my job as president, That means I'll continue to lower costs for hardworking families, grow our economy. I'll keep defending our personal freedoms and our civil rights, from the right to vote to the right to choose. I'll keep calling out hate and extremism. Make it clear there is no place in America for political violence or any violence ever, period. I'm going to keep speaking out to protect our kids from gun violence, our planet from climate crisis that is the existential threat. And I will keep fighting for my cancer moonshot so we can end cancer as we know it, because we can do it. And I'm going to call for Supreme Court reform because this is critical to our democracy, Supreme Court reform. You know, I will keep working to ensure America remains strong, to report to the American people that the United States is not at war.
Y'all hear that too?
Whoa.
We'll keep rallying a coalition would inevitably surpass the United States. That's not the case anymore. And I'm going to keep working to end the war in Gaza, bring home all the hostages, and bring peace and security to the Middle East and end this war. We're also working around the clock to bring home Americans being unjustly detained all around the world. You know, we've come so far since my inauguration. On that day, I told you, as I stood in we stood in a winter of peril and a winter of possibilities. Peril and possibilities. We were in the grip of the worst pandemic in the century. The worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. The worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. But we came together as Americans, and we got through it. We emerged stronger, more prosperous, and more secure. Today we have the strongest economy in the world, creating nearly 16 million new jobs, a record. Wages are up. Inflation continues to come down. The racial wealth gap is the lowest it's been in 20 years. We're literally rebuilding our entire nation, urban, suburban, rural, and tribal communities. Manufacturing has come back to America. We're leading the world again in chips and science and innovation. We finally beat Big Pharma after all these years to lower the cost of prescription drugs for seniors. And I'm going to keep fighting to make sure we lower the cost for everyone, not just seniors. More people have health care today in America than ever before. And I signed one of the most significant laws helping millions of veterans and their families who are exposed to toxic materials. You know, the most significant climate law ever in the history of the world. The first major gun safety law in 30 years. And today, the violent crime rate is at a 50-year low. We're also securing our border. Border crossings are lower today than when the previous administration left office. I've kept my commitment to appoint the first black woman to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. I also kept my commitment to have an administration that looks like America and be a president for all Americans. That's what I've done. I ran for president 4 years ago because I believed and still do that the soul of America was at stake. The very nature of who we are was at stake. And that's still the case. America's an idea. An idea stronger than any army, bigger than any ocean, more powerful than any dictator or tyrant. It's the most powerful idea in the history of the world. That idea is that we hold these truths to be self-evident. We're all created equal, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We've never fully lived up to it, to this sacred idea, but we've never walked away from it either. And I do not believe the American people will walk away from it now. In just a few months, the American people will choose the course of America's future. I made my choice. I've made my views known. I would like to thank our great Vice President Kamala Harris. She's experienced, she's tough, she's capable. She's been an incredible partner to me and a leader for our country. Now the choice is up to you, the American people. When you make that choice, remember the words of Benjamin Franklin hanging on my wall here in the Oval Office. alongside the busts of Dr. King and Rosa Parks and Cesar Chavez. When Ben Franklin was asked, as he emerged from the convention going on, whether the founders have given America a monarchy or republic, Franklin's response was, a republic, if you can keep it. A republic, if you can keep it. Whether we keep our republic is now in your hands. My fellow Americans, it's been the privilege of my life to serve this nation for over 50 years. Nowhere else on earth could a kid with a stutter, from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claymont, Delaware, one day sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office as President of the United States. But here I am. That's what's so special about America. We're a nation of promise and possibilities, of dreamers and doers, of ordinary Americans doing extraordinary things. I've given my heart and my soul to our nation, like so many others. I've been blessed a million times in return with the love and support of the American people. I hope you have some idea how grateful I am to all of you. The great thing about America is here, kings and dictators do not rule, the people do. History is in your hands. The power is in your hands. The idea of America lies in your hands. We just have to keep faith, keep the faith, and remember who we are. We're the United States of America, and there's simply nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. So let's act together, preserve our democracy. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you.
Well, that wasn't a long one.
Something's still not sitting right.
That little glitch. Dude, I even looked up, like, I was like, at first I was like, it's awfully bright outside for it being the East Coast, but, it's still, bright out there. I was looking up live cams of the East Coast and everything. It's Cody.
Oh, what the hell does he want?
Hi, Cody.
So I'm torn on this one because I don't believe for a second that that's why he dropped out. I don't believe for a second that that's why he ran. Because
you dropped out because your ass was getting beaten to the dirt big time.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what was happening. And he knew he couldn't win. Like, the poll numbers came out, and he was like, shit, time to go. And as far as him having COVID goes, I don't think he ever really had COVID. I think
he had a stroke.
I don't think he had a stroke. You can tell that he didn't have any palsy or anything like that. So, there's a lot of fuckery going around right now, and I don't like it.
Yeah, no,
I don't like it at all.
Like I said,
what if that was taped before he got sick?
I have to wonder if that was the case.
So, Malik, you're saying that she's polling 10 points lower than Biden, but all the polling that I see has her ahead of Donald Trump, which is ridiculous, first off, because she's deeply unpopular president.
The polling I've seen shows her still behind Donald Trump, but still polling ahead of Biden.
I don't know. There's just so much information out there.
Yeah, everything I've seen, the most consistent I've seen is like it's a 2-point spread either way that I've seen. There's like a national average, of course, not or as a whole, not one particular poll or anything. It's usually like overall average is like 2 points Trump, 2 points Biden. I mean Harris. So I mean it's yeah, it's kind of all over the place. But I mean that's kind of to be expected with the amount of like the amount of people and like push the media is pushing right now for Harris to be, you know, the next nominee and all this stuff. It's kind of expected. But I heard the best thing. Someone, I don't remember who it was talking, and they said that yeah, she does great when she's by herself just talking, but when she starts an interview or something, that's where it's going to come crashing down because she is notoriously bad at doing interviews.
Yeah, for sure. She 100% is not good at interviews. It's crazy no matter how you want to shake it, right? So, like, why the sudden change in, you know, position? Why do a lot of these things that you've done that have made the American people question, like, why you're doing this? If you never had a fever or any real symptoms from COVID, why didn't you make this announcement days ago? Why did you drop out and then quietly gather all of the delegates and push them towards Kamala without any real plan to tell the American people what the fuck is going on? The Democrat Party is in complete disarray right now.
So for the party that doesn't, that's all about, oh, you know, we got to uphold democracy and blah, blah, blah. This is very much not democratic.
This is not part of the democratic process in any way. So
I think what it is I think a couple of unpredicted things came into play. You know, he got COVID after having a very bad, you know, it was just like it was compiling. It was basically, you know, terrible debate. You know, Trump, you know, they almost killed Trump. He survives. He's got a ton of support. You know, he comes in, you know, RNC, all this stuff. Biden gets sick. And they're basically at this point, they're like, all right, look, we're already as low as we could possibly get. And then, you know, it just kept getting worse and worse. And I think honestly what happened was it was a reactionary thing where they basically panicked and showed their true selves without having a good plan in place, pretty much.
Oh shit, not good.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see that. So I'm glad that it wasn't like a medical emergency and that he wasn't on his deathbed. Even though for a couple of days there, I really thought that might be what it is. You know, that something had happened and he was legitimately dying. But you know, the more information that came out, the more obvious it became that that wasn't the case. And then, you know, he appeared, you know, on Tuesday, yesterday, I guess he appeared to travel to the White House after testing negative for COVID or whatever. It's just super weird. You know, the chain of events that led to this.
They're like, oh god, we gotta switch to Plan D.
You know, and I'm having real trouble with this one simply because of the fact that the party that's been shouting protect democracy for so long just did the single most undemocratic thing that's ever been done in modern American politics.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's and what's crazy, it's just so blatant, right? That's the crazy part. It's so obvious.
And then for Democrats to just jump on board and be like, yeah, are you guys fucking stupid? even Black Lives Matter released a tweet.
Like, hold up a minute.
That was like, no, we don't want her. Like, we want a say in this. And, you know, it's already started with the race baiting. Like, if you're black and you're voting for Donald Trump instead of Kamala Harris, then you're not one of us. It's like, okay, fuck off. You know, the color of your skin matters far less than the content of your character at any rate. But then to sit there and say, you know, we expect you to just, you know, fall in line and do what we say. It's not 1801 anymore, motherfucker. These are not your slaves. They don't have to fucking do exactly as you say. And the idea that that's how it's going to work is asinine. Like, we're all individuals. We have the right to support whatever party we want to, regardless of the color of our skin. So why the fuck are you sitting there saying the most racist bullshit that you can possibly think of? It boggles my mind that anybody would want to support a party that views them as essentially their property. Like, if you're not voting for us, then you're not even black.
Yeah, exactly.
What? It's just another form of indentured servitude for them. Like, we only care about you every 4 years when we want you to vote for us, is essentially what they're saying. And I just can't get behind that, like, in any way. So, I don't know. I still think that they told him either drop out or we're 25th Amendmenting you. And then you don't even get to finish your presidency, and your legacy is that you're the second president in history to ever be 25th Amendmented. That's just
that, or they said, "Hey, drop out, or we're calling Hillary." And that's
you know how that goes. You know, at that point, Biden was just like, "Fuck."
When was the well, I guess it's the Democratic primaries, where people actually say, like, hey, they want Joe Biden to be the Democratic runner? When was that?
I mean, that's all been over for months.
That's what I'm saying. It was, but it did happen already this year, right?
Yeah, the only thing that hasn't happened yet is the DNC.
Right.
Yeah, those, like, Alabama's presidential primary was in March. It's on March 5th.
Right.
You know, so that's just Alabama. Alaska, March 5th. Like, I think March 5th was a big day for most places. I think that's when the majority of them happened. It says
from January 23rd to June 8th is the 2024 Democratic Party presidential primaries. So the people of the United States chose Joe Biden.
Yes. And they're shoving Kamala Harris down everybody's throat.
So in order in order for them to really choose another one, they need to hold another primary is what they need to do.
Yeah.
If they weren't being terrible, yes.
They weren't being dictators.
Oh, Joe, we don't do that here.
The problem...
No, not at all.
No, that makes too much sense. We don't do that.
The other problem is that the ballot deadline has been surpassed in a lot of states, Alabama included. Like, technically, you can't even put Kamala Harris on the ballot now because she missed the deadline. And it's like that in a bunch of states.
Legally, I guess the only way would be to, like, write her name in.
Yeah. So, I mean, here we go, 2020 part 2. Like, what are they going to do to fix this? Like, you've missed the fucking deadlines. You made the Trump campaign spend a ton of money against a candidate who's not going to run now. Like, none of it makes any sense. But Democrats are just going along with it and essentially saying, govern me harder, daddy. Like, yes, you tell us what we're going to do, and we'll do that. Not to mention, Kamala Harris supports a mandatory gun buyback like what they had in Australia. She argued that inmates who had already served their time should be able to be held longer to essentially have free labor for the state. She does not support any form of abortion restriction at all. She's part of the queer ideology. Like, she firmly believes that boys can be girls and girls can be boys. Like, that doesn't represent the vast majority of Americans.
No,
and then
not even close.
And then you listen to this press conference. This isn't a press conference. This is just a speech. This is an address. A press conference, and he would have answered some fucking questions, and there would have been a lot of them. So where the fuck is Joe?
I don't feel like he addressed anything, really.
I mean, why?
Like I said, it was pretty much the same. It was pretty much the same type of talk that was in the letter. I mean, there was no additional information. Just I'm stepping aside for the next generation. Like, I mean, but why? Like, you have to give us, like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, your reasoning, your explanation is lack thereof. There is no explanation. You didn't give us anything.
Yeah, I mean, you literally told us nothing that we didn't already know. And honestly, like, none of that made any fucking sense.
It's fucking garbly-goo.
Yeah, that's normal conversation for him, though.
Well, I mean, for Joe Biden, yes, it's absolutely normal conversation for him. But, I mean, at the end of the day, the people wanted answers, and you gave them none. You gave them a bunch of bullshit. That's what you gave them. And nobody fucking believes you. There's not a person on this planet that believes that you stepped aside of your own free will. Because not 90 minutes before you released that letter, your staff was adamant that you were staying in the race.
Right.
Well, I mean,
I think this was a coup. I do. I really think it was a coup that he eventually just agreed. He eventually gave into.
He didn't have a choice. There was no. He just gave into it. Like, I mean, he had no choice. He was cornered.
Yeah.
They basically
it's still a coup. It's still pretty much a coup.
Yeah, no, I know, but that's what I'm saying. He didn't have a choice. They basically were like, "This is what's happening. You're doing this. What the fuck is he gonna do?" Dude's so beat up because he's mentally not capable. He can't fight it.
There. He's so lost in the sauce right now.
They're like, I mean, Joe, you're gonna do this, and we'll give you all the chocolate chip ice cream you want. He's like, oh, okay, sounds good.
So
we'll let you sniff all the children.
So let's just okay. So first off, there we go. Okay.
On Twitter?
No. This is the candidate that they have decided to install, in her own words. So check this out.
Kamala Harris is inspiring and very capable. The more people get to know her, they're going to be particularly impressed by her ability.
The nonpartisan GovTrack has rated you as the most liberal senator.
I am prepared to get rid of the filibuster to pass a Green New Deal. There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
Would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes.
What is the solution for voters in the fossil fuel industry?
Giving the workers an ability to transition.
We're not going to treat people who are undocumented and cross the border as criminals. That's correct.
Raise your hand if you think it should be a civil offense rather than a crime to cross a border without documentation.
Abolish ICE. Yeah. Is that a position you agree with?
We need to probably think about starting from scratch.
Outdated, it is wrong-headed thinking to think that the only way you're going to get communities to be safe is to put more police officers on the street.
Would you support changing the dietary guidelines?
Yes.
The food pyramid. What people
Yes.
To reduce red meat specifically.
Yes.
People who are convicted.
That's not your place.
Prison, like the Boston Marathon bombers, on death row, people who are convicted of sexual assault, they should be able to vote.
I think we should have that conversation.
We have to have a buyback program, and I support a mandatory buyback program.
So for people out there who like their insurance, they don't get to keep it.
Let's eliminate all of that. Let's move on. I am opposed to any policy that would deny any human being public health, period.
The more people get to know her, they're going to be particularly impressed by her ability.
It's just like
Kamala.
What?
He just seems like some villain from Gotham City. Like, just,
She kind of reminds me of like some like that kind of like that woman that you marry, like that some crazy woman you marry, and she's constantly laughing, and you're afraid she's probably going to kill you in your sleep.
This is for you, Kyle.
Why would you?
I didn't even hear it.
No, but he'll be able to hear it. You can't hear it because you're in Discord. It mutes it for you. It doesn't mute it for Kyle. For Kyle. Anyway. So, that's the candidate that they chose to install. Don't like it.
Yep.
Don't like that at all. And make no mistake, if they don't think they can beat Trump fair, they will do something to make sure that Kamala Harris is installed as president. She's not going to be elected. Nobody's really so scared of a Trump presidency that they're going to vote for her. And the people that are scared of a Trump presidency are fucking stupid. Okay? At the end of the day, we've had a Trump presidency. It wasn't bad.
That's the part that kills me is like you hear all this stuff about like, oh, if he does this, he's going to be tyrannical. It's like, wait, did you forget like not that long ago, he was president. He didn't do any of that shit. Like, where were you?
Literally none of it. Like
you
drank the mainstream media Kool-Aid and you just went along with the narrative that Trump was a racist and basically Hitler. Which, by the way, probably radicalized Matthew Crooks into shooting at him. Like, this is fucking insanity. Like, this whole thing is insanity. And it's to the point where I am quietly extremely worried about where this country will head if Kamala Harris becomes the president.
That's what I was about to say. Imagine if she wins.
It's not going to be good. It's not going to be pretty.
Because you know every time that somebody stands against her, you know what they're going to say? It's because you don't like her because she's a woman. It's because you don't like her because she's black. It's because of this. It's because of that. Not because of what she's saying is horse shit.
Yeah, it's never about the merit of the argument for the other side. It's always about the color of the skin. Identity politics is all Democrats know.
Right.
You know, there's so many people on Twitter right now saying that DEI hire is just a substitute for the N-word. No, it's literally because she's a diversity hire. Like, Joe Biden only picked her because she's not white and she's a woman.
Except for the fact that we called the Secret Service agent woman a DEI hire and she's white, so why would we... That makes no sense.
But that's because she's a woman.
Look, I mean, at this point, it all just boils down to we know how people who believe in the left support the left. It's basically, if you don't agree with me, I'm going to insult you. You don't agree with me, I'm going to just call you the worst imaginable insult that you could be called. Racist, bigoted, misogynist, whatever. You know, it's all going to be, that's what they're going to throw at you. Because why? They have no actual valid argument to it. They agree with you, but they just don't want you to actually do anything. And it's all because they just hate Trump to the point of where it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter if you just take their will from them and put someone in place for them that they did not choose. They're still going to support it because they have just lost all concept of reality.
You know, so here's the other thing about the things that they say about Trump. You know, they say he gave tax cuts to billionaires. How? Like, in what world does your dollar amount on your pay stub going up for your net pay equate to a tax cut for trillionaires and billionaires and millionaires?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he did, but I also think that Biden did, and I think Obama did, and I think that Bush did, and I think that Clinton did. I think every one of them do it. They're going to give tax breaks to the people that helped get them there, the people that helped pay to get them there.
Which is why, you know, PACs should not exist.
Right.
You know, it's a form of bribery. Like, if you give this to us, we'll support you.
Exactly. I honestly think it should be illegal for businesses to donate to
political campaigns.
Yeah. I don't think businesses. Now, if the individual that owns the business wants to do his donate his personal money, that's his business.
Go for it. That's his business.
But a business should not be able to.
Speaking of which, have you heard the info that's been coming out about the donations? Well, there's a couple of things about the donations that
are rather fucky.
Yeah. Because, you know, Act Blue, if it's under $100, they don't verify anything. They just accept the money.
Exactly. So I saw something where James O'Keefe was actually asking people who supposedly donated if they donated. And like 9 out of 10 of them had no idea that they had donated.
Yeah.
Because they didn't donate. Yeah, they laundered campaign funds from Joe Biden into Kamala Harris.
Yep.
And that's essentially what happened.
Do you really think that the Harris campaign raised $81 million in 24 hours?
Absolutely the fuck not.
They did, but just not by her.
Right. and not from people actually donating.
No, 100% not.
Well, friends, I know things are bad right now. But Joe, what do we always say?
It's about to get much worse. The suck is coming. The mushroom cometh.
You know what? I think it's time for the first edition of We Wish It Upon You. And tonight, we wish it upon Kamala Harris.
I hope next time she giggles, she sounds like a man.
I hope the next time she has to give a speech, she farts so loud that the microphone picks it up.
I hope that she farts while she's giggling. How she goes, ha ha ha, she goes like the walking farts.
I hope the next time she sucks a dick, she gets pink eye from the cum shot.
I hope if she becomes president that she's the next Clinton. I hope that she is caught sucking a dick in the Oval Office.
And not Doug's.
Yeah. No, I hope it's some kind of like tranny or something like that.
I hope
Wouldn't that be absolutely hilarious?
I hope that if she passes any legislation, it immediately gets overturned by Congress.
Like immediately.
I hope the next time that they're doing some sort of shot at the border, an illegal migrant is holding a sign saying "Thank you, Ms. Harris."
I hope that the Wi-Fi never connects for her.
I hope it says, thank you, Mr. Harris.
I hope that when Joe Biden dies, he haunts her.
In her bathroom.
I'm spooking you, kid.
No, he would probably just like wait until she goes to sleep and sniff her.
I was about to say, she might hear some sniffing noises.
Joe, is that you?
She'd be like laying in bed, and all of a sudden, like right beside her ear, all of a sudden she hears.
Honestly and truthfully, Joe, with how loud your fucking nostrils are, she probably will hear you sniffing her.
Yeah, most likely.
Let's see.
I hope that your Secret Service motorcade runs out of gas.
Oof.
In the middle of Appalachia.
You can hear the banjos in the distance.
Oh,
And it's the middle of summer.
you sure got a purty laugh there, lady.
Get in there nice and deep like.
You got a cackle like a hyena.
I hope that when she goes back to the border, she gets stuck there for a minimum of a week with no transportation.
I hope that any bottled water she gets at the border is tap water from Mexico.
She gets to go.
I hope that when she gets invited to Bohemian Grove.
No, you got to have these ready to go. You got to have them teed up.
I know.
Mess that one up.
He hit the buzzer and he wasn't ready to give an answer.
Yeah.
In full Joe fashion.
Well,
I hope that when she gets invited to Bohemian Grove, it's actually because she really actually has a dick, like Michelle Obama. Because only men are invited to Bohemian Grove.
I hope the next time she gets, or she has a live speech that she has to perform, she gets diarrhea and shits her pants on national television.
I hope the next time she goes back to visit San Francisco, she steps in a pile of human shit.
Then starts giggling.
And that's been We Wish It Upon You. Kamala Harris edition. I think I'm going to enjoy that segment quite a bit. Looking forward to the one on Saturday.
I say, like every week we just pick a different person.
Exactly. So, I don't know. All I can tell you is things are about to get fuckier.
So,
yeah, especially if she wins.
I'm kind of curious. Let's just take a little scroll through X and see.
Lonnie, are you saying that it's time to take a scroll on X?
That's right.
I think that's exactly what he said.
That's why I stopped singing it.
Okay.
Secure and the leader of the free world. I'm the first president in this century to report to the American people that the United States is not at war anywhere in the world. We'll keep rallying a coalition of proud nations to stop Putin from taking over Ukraine.
Wait. That wasn't in his...
I didn't see that at all.
It was right there when they edited out that video where it glitched earlier. So that's where that was.
So that was recorded.
I will keep working to ensure America remains strong, secure, and the leader of the free world. I'm the first president in this century to report to the American people that the United States is not at war anywhere in the world. We'll keep rallying a coalition of proud nations to stop Putin from taking over Ukraine and doing more damage. We'll keep NATO stronger and I'll make it more powerful and more united than any time in all of our history. I'll keep doing the same for allies
Also,
in the Pacific.
in this video, he's looking up.
You know,
You notice that? He's looking up instead of more at the camera.
The other one.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that shit.
It's from a different camera angle.
Is it the same video?
That's not the same camera angle.
But is it the same video?
I mean, look, you can see.
It looks the same.
He's off center. No, he's off center in this one.
Yep.
So what feed was this on?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. This shit just keeps getting weirder.
Oh, go to the comments. Go to the comments. See what the comments say.
It's definitely a recording. Just multiple proxy wars, funding wars, and the wars of the border, Ukraine and Israel, actively being invaded. Is he high? Probably. Sure, Jan. Just our tax dollars. Pass the joint, dude.
Blink, baby, blink.
It doesn't look good.
This is odd.
Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Wow.
Also, videos
wow.
videos of the police getting attacked by the protesters.
Yep.
But you know.
And then you have idiots like this. I just overheard someone say I'm not voting for Kamala Harris because she's a woman. I'm voting for Kamala Harris because she wants me to have as many rights as a man. Oh my God. You know, and then Adam Schiff, I fucking hate that guy.
Shift.
Trump is fucked in November. Okay, first off, half those women are going to be dead in November. They're
what
old.
The hell is that shit?
They're old, obese black women. Most of them won't make it out of their house, even if they are alive in November.
Also, they better make sure those fucking hover round batteries are charged. Because we know your ass ain't walking.
I fucking love Spike Cohen. Earlier this week was like one of the highlights of my existence on X.
Oh, yeah.
I got a like from Spike Cohen. And I was just,
He got jizzed in his pants.
It was, you know, I basically messaged the entire group. Oh no, I don't have it on here anymore. Where is it? Damn it.
He keeps kicking me in the
What you don't know is Justin printed out that screenshot of that like, and he has it framed in his office.
He has it framed in front of the toilet where he jacks off.
Ew.
I was just about to...
I choose hate.
Holy shit, that's fucking great.
Now he's doing freedom things. You want to say, come here. Say America. Say it in the microphone. Come here. Say it right here. Say America.
Yeah, highly unlikely.
Oh.
That's what he gets. That's what he gets. Gets one of these.
Hell yeah.
And then he gets... Where's my screech? Ah, son of a bitch.
Where's the eagle?
No, okay.
I don't have it.
That is definitely a fail for you.
Anyway, so I mean, this is going to be us for the next couple of months.
I am getting the pig.
Yep. 100%.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Y'all like my little thing I sent about Harry Sisson the other day?
Yeah.
To in a long
I told him
time,
not to pull out.
In just friends I also speak to who are not interested in politics, reaching out to me saying, how do I get involved? How do I help Vice President Kamala Harris beat Donald Trump? And for me, it's just shocking. I just haven't seen anything like this.
Wow, you're interested in what I do. Okay. And so your friends who were like...
The most pointless clip I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you fall down a flight of stairs into a dildo.
It's so good for black people, except she incarcerated a shit ton of them just for smoking weed.
So excited that Kamala Harris was appointed and is now the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party. It is so good for black people.
Oh, that explains it. He's gay.
It is so good for black people to get arrested and for black men to be separated from their families. I am so excited.
He got
He
you.
got you.
What?
Yeah, did you not hear what he just said?
No.
Listen to the last,
listen to
He's being sarcastic.
From their families.
Oh no! Play about halfway.
That Kamala Harris was appointed and is now the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party. It is so good for black people. It is so good for black people to get arrested and for black men to be separated from their families. I am so excited that Kamala Harris was appointed and is now the presumptive nominee.
Preach, brother.
Dude, he was so convincing, though.
He was.
He was very convincing. Why is Kamala Harris not on this list? Huh?
Well, that would
fucking
be
idiot.
too obvious.
I can't wait to vote for Kamala. You're gonna have her on Plug Talk. That's funny. I've listened to that.
Like, really? This is... I mean, essentially there's nothing wrong with this, but, please stop.
Where are they doing that at?
To those who have never wavered, to those who refuse to what?
Doubt.
To doubt? Fucking can't read your shitty teacher cursive. To those who always believed, my heart is full of gratitude. Thank you for the trust you put in Joe. Now it's time to put that trust in Kamala. Idiot.
You know, for the little bit I've heard of Josh Shapiro there,
Wait.
I've actually...
Wait. Robert Reich. Right? Robert Reich. It's strange to watch Republicans try to argue that Democrats shouldn't have the right to decide who their own presidential nominee is.
You're right. They shouldn't.
No, they should have the right to decide who their own presidential nominee is. That's literally what we're all saying.
No, he's talking about the party. We're talking about the people.
I mean, they kind of don't care anyway. Also, Governor Josh Shapiro is an absolute shitbag. So
really, I thought he was. I've heard decent things about him.
No,
but I mean, so my thing is like, go up. Like, there's not pads and tampons in girls' bathrooms.
Since when is it the state's responsibility to take care of?
Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I mean, I'm okay with that.
You don't see them put fucking deodorant in the boys' bathroom.
Yeah, and them motherfuckers need it.
Then they be stanking.
I mean, at least put a little machine in there where they put like a quarter in or something. You know what I mean? Like they do public bathrooms.
Like they did back in the day, yes.
Yeah, man. I don't see nothing wrong with putting a little machine in there. They put like a quarter in and get a tampon.
I'm really close to backing Trump again. This left-wing wacko shit is in day 2, and the insanity is driving me crazy. I just can't take it anymore. A fucked up Trump is better than the alternatives.
That part is he's not fucked up. I don't understand though. I mean, I appreciate it, but I don't understand it.
Please let it be booty juice. Please. This guy should have gotten shot.
Yep.
Right there. Like, before he even got the H done. Should have just been capped. Oh, Joe Jorgensen.
Joe, why did you leave us? You were so good for us.
Biden's speech tonight is going to address how fragile democracy is, while the Democrats bypass the primary process and hand the nomination to Harris.
Yep. She's spot on. She was so good for our party. She was a good one. Dare I say, her and Spike may have been the best choice we've had in libertarians in a while since Ron Paul.
Yes.
And by the way, Kamala will not be your first female president. She will not be your first female president. It's not the way it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to have a socialist. Look, we're not going to be a socialist nation. We're not going to have a socialist president, especially any female. Especially any female. Especially any female. Socialist president. We're not going to have it. We're not going to put up with it. It's not going to happen.
You are correct. Okay. We are not going to put up with it.
What? Where's the lie, though?
Meanwhile, I think it should be noted that Phoenix Ammunition is on their shit again. God.
They've been dropping some bombs.
Y'all some low-life motherfuckers. Yeah, but at least we're good at it.
Wait, what? Let's see. What does it say?
Bags of ammunition with Dianne Feinstein's face.
Yeah, but we're good at it.
That one was funny.
If you need ammunition, Phoenix Ammunition is your source. Mock politicians every chance you get. No quarter.
I'm telling you, get in the black flag, baby.
By the way, be prepared because this is something that they are going to do a lot of. They're going to preach that no law regulates a male's body. Unfortunately, the Selective Service does exactly that to the male. Because women cannot get drafted, but men can.
Can you think of any laws that give government the power to make decisions about the male body?
I'm happy to answer a more specific question. But
male versus female.
There are medical procedures.
Okay. That the government has the power to make a decision about a man's body.
I thought you were asking about medical procedures that are unique to men.
I'll repeat the question. Can you think of any laws that give the government the power to make decisions about the male body?
I'm not thinking of any right now, Senator.
Well, you're a shitty judge then, because Selective Service definitely does that.
Yep. Like, it's our whole body, not just what we can do with it. Like, it literally shoves us off to our death, essentially.
3 different gun permits for one single city. Is this what the Founding Fathers had in mind? Does this pass the Bruin FN9 test? But remember, if you require any ID whatsoever in order to vote, you're a racist, bigot, fascist, and you're anti-democracy. And that has been Take a Scroll on X.
Hey, what are you doing? Get out from there.
I will say the new swoosh has grown on me.
Is it growing on you?
It is. It is. But it's been about an hour since we started, and it was supposed to be just a short show just to cover the speech. So we'll see you guys on Saturday. Until then,
I hope you enjoyed our midweek little coverage. Yeah.
Till Saturday, I'm Justin.
I'm Joe.
I'm Lonnie.
Okay.
Tally ho,
Tally ho, lads.
Lads.